Hi, I'm Nikita Singh. I'm here to recommend some books to you to read during this lockdown. It truly is an unprecedented time and we're going through so much. If you are stuck at home, as most of the world is right now, and you're looking for something to read to sort of find an escape, I have some ideas for you. The first book that I would recommend is called The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. It's an old classic, everybody knows about it. I first read it about almost a decade ago now, I think, and it really deeply touched me. And over the years, as I reread the book, it's just given me so much comfort. And I know that the topic of this book is not very uplifting, but the writing itself is so comforting. It feels like you relate to this character, even though obviously our situation is nothing like hers. The second recommendation that I would give you is a bigger investment in terms of time and energy. It's the Ibis Trilogy by Amitav Ghosh. The first book is Sea of Poppies, the second one is River of Smoke, and then there's a third one called Flood of Fire, which I don't have right now. Someone borrowed it from me and never returned it, which is quite a shame because these are signed copies that Amitav Ghosh signed for me when I met him in New York a few years ago. And I bought all of his books and brought them all to him. So he had signed 7 copies for me. And yeah, it was the best moment of my life. But yeah, so this trilogy altogether is probably 1700 pages, and it's really, really good. And if you really are looking for something to sink your teeth into and just let it take you on a ride, this is what I would recommend. I think this is the ideal time to read a self-help book because, at least for me, during my normal life, when I'm jumping from one thing to another and I don't have time to stop and reflect, I think this is the ideal time to do that. I have a couple books here that you've seen them around, and these are the ones that have kind of helped me recalibrate and set goals for myself. Or you can find something else that aligns closely to what you want to do with your life and sort of sift through it, pick and choose whatever kind of aligns with your life and can help you. Now, time for some fun. I have a couple collections of short stories here. The first one is called Make Something Up. And as it says here, stories you can't unread. This is so true for this book. To give you some perspective, this book has many, many stories. I think like about 25, 26 stories in it. These are stories that you will read and you will retain in your mind because some of them are so outrageous, so completely something that you would not have imagined that it's a lot of fun. And this author also wrote Fight Club, which if you've seen that movie, you know you're in for some craziness. And if you want to read something more nourishing, Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. It's called Men Without Women because the last story is titled that. It's one that really makes you think and sort of stop, and because nothing really happens in that story other than what happens in the first paragraph, but it's so beautifully done. And Murakami always makes me think anyway, so yeah, this is a good introduction to Murakami too if you haven't read his work before. I don't have a copy of the book that I want to recommend. It's called The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. It was the first Leanne Moriarty I read, and I read it on Audible, so I don't have a physical copy. It was so good. The twists and turns were just spectacular, and they lasted till the very last page, till the very last sentence, and they were things that you could not have imagined would ever happen. And it just blew my mind. It was so good. I have some other books by her here. This is the most recent one, the Nine Perfect Strangers. And this one that I bought recently, I haven't read it yet. I haven't had the chance to, but I'm going to read this also during this lockdown. I hope that some of these books can help you keep your mind off things and give you like a little escape from the reality, because God knows we all can use some help right now. And just stay home, stay safe, stay sane. I'll see you next time.